Be honest. How many times have you written a massive to-do list on Monday only to get to Friday and feel like you barely scratched the surface? That was me every single week. Until I ditched the to-do list altogether and shifted to something that actually works, a weekly rhythm. And let me tell you, it has completely changed how I run my business as a mom. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the Moms Make Money podcast. I'm your host, Jenny. I'm the owner of Moms Make Money Collective, a podcast and visibility strategist and mom of two. Many moms feel like we need to sacrifice our careers for our children, but I wholeheartedly believe that we can have a thriving business and family at the same time. In this podcast, we're going to be diving into the ins and outs of running a business as a mom and getting real and raw about all things parenting. So buckle up because we're about to go all in. Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Moms Make Money, where we dive into simple, sustainable strategies to help you build a profitable service-based business in part-time hours because your family comes first and business should fit around your life, not the other way around. I'm your host, Jenny Sunnison, and today's episode's all about one of the biggest game changers in my productivity, and that is ditching the traditional to-do list and shifting to a weekly rhythm. If you've ever felt like you're just drowning in sticky notes, endless lists, or a planner that just becomes another source of guilt, this episode is for you. So first, I want to start with a little bit of honesty. So for years, I lived by my to-do list. If something popped into my brain, it went on the list. If a client emailed me, it went on the list. If I saw someone's Instagram post and thought, ooh, I should try that, yep, onto the list it went. And here's the problem. My list was just absolutely never ending. Every time I crossed something off the list, I added 3 more things. And instead of feeling accomplished, I constantly felt behind. And I want to be real. My to-do list wasn't helping me do more. It was helping me feel more overwhelmed. And that's when I started experimenting with a weekly rhythm. Instead of waking up every day and staring at a never-ending list, I started organizing my week into themes and priorities. So think of it less like a checklist and more like a flow. So for example, Mondays are my CEO days. This is where I'm focusing on big picture strategy, finances, planning, etc. Then we have Tuesday and Wednesday. Those are my client work days. This is where I'm batching podcast editing and other podcast tasks for clients, helping clients prepare for launches, doing my client communication, doing any follow-ups with clients. Then we have Thursday. Thursdays are for content and collaboration. So this is where I'm recording episodes for my own podcasts, writing emails, sending out guest pitches, etc., handling summit and event prep for my many events that I host throughout the year. And then we have Friday. So Fridays are a little bit lighter. It's usually like admin wrap-up type task and giving space for anything that needs catching up. Or if I want to do some education, this is where I fit that in. But yeah, Fridays are definitely lighter days. So now, instead of having 47 little tasks scattered everywhere, I know what category of work gets my focus each and every day. So here's how that works in real life. So let's say that I have a podcast launch client. Instead of sprinkling little pieces of that launch across my week, I block out time on a client day to deep dive and move the needle forward. Or maybe I want to create a new freebie. I'm not adding make freebie to my to-do list and staring at it for weeks. I know Thursday is my content day, so I add it to that day and that's when it happens. This rhythm helps me protect my time, reduce decision fatigue, and honestly, it takes away the guilt spiral of never feeling caught up. So you may be wondering, why is this especially powerful for moms? Well, that's because life is unpredictable. Kids get sick, there's pickups and drop-off, there's sports practices, or some days you just don't have the brain capacity to do what you need to do. And when you're working in part-time hours, the to-do list will always feel like too much. But a rhythm is flexible. If your Tuesday gets derailed, I know that next Tuesday is another client day. If Tuesday gets derailed, I know that Wednesday is also another client day. Or I can kind of I need a really dedicated client day. Maybe I'll move that to the Tuesday into Thursday, depending on the week. Nothing is permanently missed. It just flows into the next cycle or gets shifted around as needed. That shift alone has saved me so much stress. So you may be wondering, how do I create my own weekly rhythm? So here are 3 steps to do that. So first, you want to identify your core categories of work. Is it client work, content, admin, sales, CEO time? Whatever those things are, write them down. Then you want to assign them to different days. And you don't have to do all categories every single week, but give each category a home so that it has a place to live. Then the third thing you want to do is stick to it loosely. The goal here isn't rigidity, it's rhythm. If life throws you a curveball, you can flex without throwing your whole business off track. So if you've been feeling chained to your to-do list, I want you to try shifting to a weekly rhythm. Start small. Even just assigning 1 or 2 theme days can make a huge difference in your energy, focus, and how much you actually get done. And remember, your business is supposed to work with your life, not make you feel like you're failing every day because you didn't check off enough boxes. So I would love to hear what rhythm you come up with. Come on over and DM me on Instagram over at jenny.sunnison and tell me what your weekly rhythm is shaping up to look like. And if you're ready to simplify your systems and design a business that runs in part-time hours, make sure to check out my free resource, the 20-Hour Workweek Blueprint. I'll make sure to link it in the show notes for you. All right, that is it for today's episode. I hope this episode inspires you to ditch the list and embrace a rhythm that feels good and sustainable. Until next time, keep building your business in the margins of motherhood, and remember, you're doing amazing. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'd love it if you would head on over to our free Facebook group called Moms Make Money Collective to connect with us further. If you're more of an Instagram fan, make sure you're following us on Instagram at Moms Make Money Collective. If you're loving the show, make sure to leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcast. Your feedback means the absolute world to us. We'll see you in the next episode.